Well, hello everybody. I'm here with Grace Hart, who is a mother of three, an author, a psychic medium, and God knows what else. I've just read your bio. It's just amazing. Age, I don't know what age it was, but you had a very bad car accident at one point. 48 bones broken, I read. Can you tell us a little bit about that story? It's just amazing. Just in your own words.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just a regular kid and had my license for not long at all, and basically drunk driver, speeding, hit me and totally changed my path. I had just signed a modeling contract actually, and of course that didn't come through, so it put me on a completely different path. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for everything that happened. I pretty much woke up. I think we all, well, not I think, I know we all are psychic. However, when I woke up from the accident, I could hear things, see things. My whole world changed. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And I really get that energy of fun and gratitude in your reality. And I guess you are the author of the book that changes anything.
Yes.
Could you actually comment on that gratitude that it seems to pour through even on your website, and of course when you talk, can you talk about how that contributed to writing or creating your book?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, for me, it's far beyond books. It's a way of being, gratitude. It's not something you can fake. It's not something that you have to work at. My interesting point of view, it's who we be. And when we drop all our barriers and we're actually the space of gratitude that we truly be, when we truly receive and perceive everything, you will receive the book, you will receive the relationship, you will receive it all. And gratitude is a huge part of that. So, what are you grateful for? What are you not grateful for that you could be? And what if gratitude is one of the keys for you to actually have everything and anything?
Yeah, you mentioned there that gratitude, when you have your barriers down, that you can receive anything. And because we're looking at books specifically at the moment, what do you mean by receiving the book?
Well, I love writing. I'm incredibly dyslexic and I can't spell to save my life. My handwriting is almost illegible. But the actual act of writing I find super fun and easy. And yet, I was aware of a book coming, but every time I'd kind of tune into it, what I'd recommend to people is now the time. Because if now's not the time, really just tune into what is it that you actually can create now? Because it might not be a book. But if it is a book, ask, is now the time for it? For the book that changed anything, I allow the books to talk to me. I see them as entities in their own right. And I was woken up very early in the morning with my wind chimes going, and it was playing a symphony that it was just, the sound of it was spectacular. And so it woke me up. I came outside and realized there was no wind, yet these chimes were going. And because of my ability to talk to spirits, I heard a voice saying, are you ready to be able to change anything? And I was like, hi, who are you? Thinking it was maybe a deceased loved one or something like that. And it was actually the book. And that's how it started. So, I'd be looking at what is it that wants to talk to you? What's desiring to talk to you that maybe you've got barriers up to? And maybe what you think you're going to write might not end up being what you do write. And so that's what, and to write because you should, or to write because you want to make money, or to write because you want to be a contribution, maybe that they're not the smartest choices. It's like, truly, is there a book tapping you? Great. It's an entity. Talk to it. And actually make a demand of it. With my book, it was like, okay, cool. I really get the energy that when I write this, I be an energy that can create change for anyone, as far as together, we can create change together, right? However, I also made the demand that it makes money. I also I made a demand. It wasn't like, it's almost like a parent who's choosing to adopt a child. It's like, you're not going to adopt any child just because. It's like, what is it going to create? What's this relationship going to create? What are we going to create together? Does this match the future that I know is possible? Is this leading to the future I know is possible?
Wow, so many questions to help create or help pull out whatever creation you had, whether it's a book or or anything else. There was something that came up in our pre-talk about having you talk about writing, and one of the things was you asked me a question. You said, Liam, do you have any projections or expectations around what you are creating with this program, which is called The Book in You? And we dealt with that, but you mentioned that just a minute ago about projecting, and having an expectation of what you think you should be doing. Could you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I'm so grateful for Access Consciousness and the refined judgment, the topic of refined judgment that's come out. And basically, if you're analyzing what you're going to write or thinking about what you're going to write, that's actually creating judgment in the universe. And what if you actually dropped your barriers and just was with the energy of what the book is? Because anytime that you project something or expect something, you're actually stopping the creation between the two of you. You're stopping creation, period. And so really what it's about is, are you willing to destroy and uncreate everything that you've concluded about this, projected, expected about this? Because as I said, it's no different to a relationship with somebody else. It's like, would you what would you be like in a relationship if someone made a continual demand of you or puts expectations on you, projections on you that they didn't even talk about? Mm-hmm. It's like, how can you be you in that, right? So it's the same with the book. The book has an awareness of what it can create with you. If you actually got out of the way, both of you together could create this masterpiece. And it will always turn out far greater and better than you could have possibly imagined if you're willing to get out of projection, expectation, conclusion, all of that sort of stuff. And the other thing too that we talked about was your kind of like what your why is. So for me, when I wrote the book that changes anything, I know I be an energy that just being with me creates change in the world. Mm-hmm. And I know what I've written in that book. So the words of the book, as well as the energy contained in that, just having that book is going to start to create change in the universe. I already know that. Mm-hmm. And I care about the people reading. So I know that anyone can change anything. And what can I do to contribute to that? What do I know about that no one else knows? And so if you're going to write a book, it's like, truly, who's your audience? And it is a level of caring. It's not about the money. Even though the money comes, that's awesome. But there's a greater picture here. What will your book create in 500 years? Mm-hmm. And if it's not creating anything in 500 years, maybe it's not the right topic.
Yeah, that's such a cool question, because it actually gets you out of the space or out of the place where you have defined exactly what the book or the project is going to look like, and brings more space to it, more energy to it.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if it's not fun and easy for you, don't do it. Mm-hmm. The very first book I wrote was The Peacemaker's Way, and that was done in 3 nights. This book was done in 5 evenings, and so if it's not fun and easy, and one of the things I'd also say is, what do you love? What can you talk about forever? And it's so easy. And one of the tips that I do say to people is, if you find that oh my gosh, it's so daunting to write, or it's too boring, or I can't do it, well then, start talking, as far as get a microphone and just start talking. And then what can happen with that is you can just get it transcribed and there's your book written, or run a class and get it transcribed and let that book just write itself, basically.
Cool. Actually, I was going to finish up there and ask you what you could actually practically do. And I think you just answered that with 2 great things. Oh, I think you might be psychic.
Oh, maybe I am. Maybe we all are. We just got out of our way.
Cool. Well, Grace, thank you so much for talking. There's lots and lots of stuff in here for people to really get their teeth into and have a play with some of those tools, whether they come on the program or not. I'm sure what you have given today or gifted today is going to contribute to a lot of people across the world. I hope that people will take the time to look at your website. It's called choosinggreater.com, and the book is called The Book That Changes Anything by Grace Hart. Please check her out. And anything you'd like to add at the end there?
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, the thing that pings the most is if a book is talking to you and calling you, what do only you know? What do only you know? What have you been birthed for that no one else knows? What energies are you being or could you be that has never existed here on the planet? And if you were being that, what could you create in a form of a book? And go for it, guys, because you can do it. Whatever you can perceive, you can achieve.
Thank you so much, Grace. And
okay.
What else is possible?
What else? What else is infinitely possible? Go out and write some books and change the world.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.